Hello everyone, this is Stephen Munn, and this is a Quickie Vocaloid 3 tutorial. Today I'm going to be talking about creating harmonies in Vocaloid. So let's get started. I'm going to start up my Vocaloid 3 editor, and I'll be using the Megpoint English library because I don't know Japanese and this is the only library I have. Now I've already pre-created a simple melody and simple backing track. So let's go ahead and load up that file. And this is kind of scrunched up here, so I'm going to expand that so you can see the measures. Okay, that's better. And let's give this a listen.
Hello, I love to eat pizza.
Okay, so they had a very simple 3-measure song, and I have not done any kind of tweaking or processing because I just want to use this to demonstrate how to create a melody, or I mean rather a harmony. So you have this one track, your main track. To create the harmony, you just need to duplicate it first. So make sure I have this selected and go to edit, copy, edit, paste. So now we have a duplicated track. The original one up here and the new harmony here. So I'm going to double click on this and type in harmony so I don't get confused what track I'm working on, because this is the original one, this is the harmony. So double clicking on this part will make sure you're working on the new track. So the first thing you need to do is we need to shift all those notes. Now what you want to do is you want to shift it a third. A third is basically 2 whole notes up above where you started from. So this is the key of C. I always like to use the key of C to create songs in Vocaloid because key of C has no sharps or flats, which makes it easy to make a harmony, because you can always spot if the note is wrong after you move it. If you move it and you find that you have some sharps and flats, you need to adjust those notes, because you cannot have sharps and flats in the key of C. Well, you could, but generally you do not have any sharps or flats. That's not to say that working in another key would be super difficult. If your song is in the key of G, you just got one sharp, F sharp, in that key. So that's not really that difficult. But to keep things simple, I like to always compose songs in the key of C. And plus, I think that Megpoint English, Gumi, sounds very good in that key. So let's go to the job menu and execute job plugin. And we want to execute the transposition job plugin. I believe that this was already in the Vocaloid 3 editor, but I can't remember for sure. If not, you can always go to the Vocaloid store site. They have a whole bunch of jobs there that you can download, and it's free. So I'm going to run this transposition job, and you can see it asks for the interval. 2 whole notes is 4 half steps, but I'm going to leave it at 3. Okay, we run this. Okay, and you can see that it shifted up. This is the original track. This is the harmony track that we just shifted up. Now you can see that the notes have been shifted up. This was originally E. This is now G. This is G. This was D. This is now F. This was E. This is G. And this is D. This is F. D, F. And this went from C to E flat, which is not correct. And the reason why that's only E flat is because you have C, D, E, and going from E to F is only half step, which is why 3 moving 3 half steps up works for this, because you had E, then F, and then F sharp, and then G. Remember, there are 2 places in the keys that are half steps. For key of C, moving from E to F is only half step. Moving from B to C is only half step. So you have to count for that. So if we listen to this now, you can tell that this sounds pretty bad.
Hello, I love to eat pizza.
I mean, you can just clearly hear that. That is not right. So what we want to do is move this E flat up another half step so that it's E. Play this again.
Hello, I love to eat pizza.
Okay, so that harmony sounds nice now. Now, if you want to add another part, there's 2 ways you can go. You can go another 2 notes up from your harmony to reach the perfect fifth. Sometimes, though, it can get too high for me, my taste. Or you can go back to the original track and move down 2 whole notes. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a upper melody, upper harmony, and a lower harmony. So I make sure I selected the original track. I'm going to, again, copy this track. Harmony 2, name it, so I'm not confused as to where I am. And again, I'm going to run a job, transposition job, but this time I'm going to go down 3 half steps. Okay, and you can see that it was moved. You can see it was moved down. So you can see all 3 parts here. There's the original one, the upper harmony. Now this is going to be the lower harmony. And again, you can see that it went from E to C sharp, which is not right. So I'm going to select, I probably should have moved it 4 half steps. This is okay, this one. So these 3 notes, which are C sharp, should not be, or actually 4 notes. I selected them all. I'm going to just slide this down to C, and the last one's A, which is fine. Now let's give it a listen to see if that turns out okay.
Hello, I love to eat pizza.
Yeah, that's not good. So we can adjust this again by moving these down to A, and I'm going to go ahead move this down to G. So even though it wasn't sharp or flat, any of the notes, sometimes you have to move it again to make sure the harmony sounds okay.
Hello, I love to eat pizza.
Okay, so now that sounds good. The other thing you want to do is, because you don't want to drown out the original melody, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the mixer. I'm going to go ahead and lower the volume on the 2 harmony tracks a little bit, just so you can hear the original melody.
Hello, I love to eat pizza.
Okay, and so there we have it. We now have a Vocaloid track with melody and 2 harmony tracks. So basically, you really have to remember that when you shift these notes to create your harmony track, that your notes remain in the key that you're working on. Okay, so that's it for harmonies. I hope that makes things a little clearer for people. If not, please leave a comment and I'll respond to you. See you next time.